Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Today's video is talking about the new fusion that was just announced today and that will start next Thursday, so basically August 3rd. I wasn't planning on releasing any videos today. I had really a bad day at work, but I wanted to get this out to you as soon as possible because there's a couple of very important points related to that fusion that was just announced that I wanted to talk to you about. So, first of all, let's go through the cat of the new champ, Emic Trunk Heart, and he's a Void Lego. They really do these. Well, the last one we had was Supreme Elaine, and she wasn't that good. But anyways, so we'll go through the good, we'll go through the cat, and we'll talk about why this champion is extremely good. Note is better, but this one is top void Legos in the game as well, and they are giving him out as a fusion. And I have a huge concern, something that you should really pay attention to if you're going for this fusion. But first things first, let's talk about the kit. I'll tell you why he's that good, and then we'll talk about my concern regarding plarium and what they are doing there. Okay, so A1 increases the value of shield buff on himself and the champ of with the lowest HP by 25%. Straightforward shield increase on the A1. He's A1ing most of the time, so that's a good A1 there, but nothing too great yet. Wait for it. So A2, when booked on 3-turn cooldown, places a shield buff equal to 30% of this champion's HP, and he is HP based. He's a Void Lego, so probably he'll have a ton of HP. So basically, on 3-turn cooldown, he's placing that massive shield on the team for 2 turns. And it's not, this is the other good part, decreases the cooldown of an ally skill, except this champion by 1 turn. What is that? This is Painkeeper. So this is a Void Lego who can do what Painkeeper does, and on his A3 will jump into it and can do what Man Eater does. If Man Eater, or to be more accurate, Sir Nick, married Painkeeper, that's their child. So what's happening with the A3? He places unkillable buff on all allies for 2 turns, also places a taunt and shield on this champion for 2 turns. That's on a 4-turn cooldown, so same cooldown as Sir Nick and as Man Eater. The big difference is that this champ doesn't put block debuffs, so you won't be able to avoid the stun. Something that I think it's either Saf or Nabraids we're talking about while talking about this champ today in their video is that I wonder if Taunt will make Clam Boss target him for the stun, so you can tune the team around this. We'll go to the passive and then we'll talk about why he's that good. Probably the passive is hidden behind me, but I'll read it out for you. When attacked while under shield, which should be almost all the time, has a 50% chance of increasing, which is booked to 75% chance, increasing the cooldown of a random skill on the attacker by 2 turns. So that's a great passive there. Occur once per attack. Whenever an ally HP drops below 20%, which is most of the time on an unkillable Clam Boss team, increases the damage dealt by that ally by 20%. So, what Plarium is giving us with this champion is a Sir Nick unkillable champ combined with Painkeeper. So, with a cleanser, this champ can do an unkillable team on his own. So if you're struggling to hit Ultra Nightmare 2 or 3 keying it, this champs gives you the opportunity to do it. Just with a cleanser, with Doom Priest or Reliquary Tender or whatever. I bet that the big brains behind the game will have a lot of speed tunes that they are going to release, combining this champ with Man Eater, with Sir Nick, with whatever, but he's really good for unkillable comps. And for anyone that's been struggling with finding an unkillable champ to build their Ultra Nightmare Clam Boss team, this is the champ for you. The combination of decreasing the scale cooldown of maybe the other champs that's putting unkillable out there and himself can make him work maybe, I wonder, well, I have an idea for a Clam Boss tune that can use this champ. Uh, if it works, you'll know. I'll release a video about it. But I bet that the big brains and the big content creators will figure out all the possible options there. Expect at least 10 videos from Deadwood Jedi with Clam Boss comps, including this guy. So, an amazing Void Lego, HP based, Sylvan Watchers, who's good for unkillable Clam Boss comps. So basically, two amazing fusions in a row. Talking about fusions, last point before I tell you about my big concern. This is going to be a hybrid fusion, meaning that it's going to be a fusion, not a fragment collector, but you'll do fragment collection for the four epics. This is the hardest type of fusions that Plarium offers us because the number of fragments available is exactly on the dot what you need to fuse the four epics. If you miss a single fragment for a single epic, you miss the fusion. This fusion's points, I bet, are going to be crazy considering how good he is. So if your resources are depleted from fusing Newt, I highly doubt if you'll have enough resources to fuse this guy. Which brings me to my point, my big concern, what I put on the thumbnail and the title of this video. Plarium went into profit-making mode. That's what they declared, and that's what we're seeing from the ridiculous amount of 10x's, guaranteed champs, and everything they're throwing at us. They are just started really reaping money out of the game more than they were before, if that's possible. And part of their strategy, obviously, is not only around shard packs and guaranteed champs or 10x's, just to tempt you to buy shards and fuse champs and and open them for 10x's and all of that stuff. But it's also they are targeting people for multi battles and energy packs because what happens if you really want this champ, if you really want your unkillable Clam Boss team, and you're completely out of resources from fusing Newt, who's really an amazing champ, probably better than this one if we talk overall. You have to buy a few packs. You have to buy gems, you have to buy energy, you have to buy multi battles, so you can fuse this one back to back after Newt with the crazy points that I bet they are going to be throwing at us during those events. From that pattern that they started doing, whatever champs that they have in the pipeline that they are going to release, like I think if the game wasn't going into profit making mode, they wouldn't have released those two back to back. They would have kept this one for Christmas or whatever. Because usually we have like two really good fusions per year, and the other ones are between average and bad. If they are throwing all the good fusions they have at us at a very short intervals to make sure that we're always lacking resources, we're always lacking shards and all of that, then it might be difficult to keep in line with all of them. So my suggestion is, if you are low on resources, if you already have your unkillable team figured out, feel free to skip this one. Don't get me wrong, he's an amazing champ, but if you have your unkillable Clam Boss team figured out, take a break, take a breather, collect some resources. More good stuff is coming while they're trying to make us buy more stuff. So that's where when you can skip this one. If you're missing your unkillable team, if you didn't do Newt because it was so aggressive, but you have enough resources for this one, go for it for sure. I'm going for it on my main and on my Ecclesia account, which brings me to the last point I want to mention in the video today. Do not open shards on this week's 2x voids because let's face it, with whatever voids you saved, can you guarantee that you're getting a good void Lego out of them? Probably not. So better save these and use them in the fusion. The shard events for this fusion are going to be really hard. Save all the shards you can. Save all the energy and the gems that you can for when this fusion starts. Save all the silver. Start saving on silver there. You would need at least 50 million. If they are throwing three, like the last one, 3 artifact enhancement events, you need around 50 million to be safe. Um, Anyway, so yeah, that's my points. If you have your unkillable team, you might skip this one, though he's great, because they might be throwing even better fusions at us in the next few months. If not, if you're exhausted from Note, there is no must fuse. Yes, he's a great champ. He might be one of the best fusions we had, but fusions come and go. Don't break the bank. Don't get burned out just to chase a fusion. Relax, chill, and play casually. If you have the resources, yes, I'm going for him. If you have the resources, go for him for sure. He's a great, great champ. Just beware of what Plarium is trying to do there. Yeah, that's it for today. We'll have exciting times chasing this guy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.